So I've gotten a lot of messages from you guys saying that you're at home and you're looking for different tips on working out from home, that kind of thing. And I prepared a resource for you guys. You can get that down in the links below, which has some at-home workouts. And I'm sure that you guys have plenty of at-home exercises and workouts that you have available to you. And what I wanted to do today is just give you a tip on how you can increase the difficulty and the effectiveness of some of the exercises that I have in the resource, but also other exercises that are available to you. And it's a simple tip where you basically increase the time under tension, you make the exercise more difficult, and you increase the sort of mind-body connection that you have through that exercise. So getting into the tip, guys, I'm gonna use the push-up as a basic example of a bodyweight exercise, but you can use the idea with any particular bodyweight movement that you're doing. And simply what we're gonna do is we're gonna do it on a tempo. We're gonna slow down the actual exercise. So for instance, with a push-up, a lot of people, they get down, they do their push-ups, and they're just bang, 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 nice and fast, right? Which is completely fine, there's nothing wrong with it. But one of the ways that you can make that push-up more difficult, instead of just banging out reps, is we can get down and we can slow it down. And the tempo can be different. I'll do like a 3-1-3, which means it's gonna be a 3-second descend, a 1-second pause, and a 3-second push, with eccentric and concentric basically. But right here, get into our push-up position, and then as we go down, nice and slow, get down. And again, we want our chest to touch right here. And then when we come back up, 1, 2, 3. It makes push-up much more difficult. And again, what you're doing is you're increasing time under tension. Even if you're at home, if you have limited amounts of weights, maybe you got a kettlebell or some dumbbells and barbells or whatever you have, if you have some weights at home, but you're not able to really slap on the weight like you might normally do in a gym, you can also use this as sort of a way around that. So for instance, if you're let's just say a bench press, is very comparable to the push-up, since we're kind of in that theme, you could put your weight on there, and instead of having to slap on more weight, you can do slower repetitions and really work on those different areas. And again, it makes the exercise way more difficult. Now, you can also take this same idea over to solo drills, because I know a lot of other jiu-jitsu personalities and people that produce courses and things like that, they're putting out solo drills. I have several on my channel, and again, in the link in that resource below, there's some in there as well. But again, with solo drills, you can do the same idea. So let's take the sit through as an example, right? You can get here and get into our position, and bang, we can go really fast, right? Which is fine. Again, it's good, get a cardio workout, stuff like that. But another thing that you can do is you can also slow that movement down, and you can increase the control of your body, that mind-body connection. And I think that it's really useful, because in jiu-jitsu, a lot of times we're going off of feel, right? We're going off of the feeling of our body a lot of times. Like a lot of times if you talk to a jiu-jitsu practitioner, they're not like thinking about everything. A lot of times they just feel it. If they feel it in their body. And so one of the things you can do, let's say if we do that same movement, as we go through it, instead of going really fast, we can slow everything down. I'm engaging my core the whole time, staying strong in my arms here. Boom. Coming back up here, same thing here. And again, just noticing how every part of my body feels. I can feel my shoulder locking in. I can feel my leg extending. I can feel my weight on my heels. Boom. Going back and forth, and just taking my time. And again, that's a really good way to increase the difficulty of some of those exercises. Now, you may not be able to do that with every particular movement, but with some of those solo drills that are challenging already, you can slow them down, making them a lot more challenging. And so, again, whatever at-home workout you're using, whatever bodyweight exercise, barbell, dumbbell, kettlebell exercise, or solo movement that you're doing, try and see how it feels, because again, we don't know how long this quarantine thing's gonna last. And again, even if this is later on and you're watching this video at a later date, if you're stuck at home, try changing up the tempo. You can play around with it, right? But try slowing down the movements to make them more difficult and decrease time under tension, which is gonna tax your muscles more. Again, that's gonna increase that mind-body connection. And again, it's just a different way to sort of stimulate the muscles while you're stuck at home and not able to make use of the full gym like normal. But even after you get back to normal training, tempo reps and changing the tempo of your repetitions is a really useful way to, instead of just slapping on more weight, get a lot more from it. So a lot more from those exercises. So anyway, starting to ramble, guys. Hopefully this is useful to you. Stay healthy, stay safe out there, and I'll talk to you guys next time.